I may not be what you want, yeah, but I'm all you'll ever be. Kids in Brooklyn.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, the car's on the lift, and today we're doing a major job, ripping out that D16 single cam and dropping in the B20. Let's get into it. So what we have here is kind of my stockpile of parts. So this is the Mishimoto Chill, right? The Chill. That is for antifreeze. Obviously, it keeps it cold at temperature. I had to order some bolts. This is the ECU, but I'm not using this. I'm just gonna start the car with this, but I've got something special for you guys, and you'll see what I'm gonna put in here. It's not gonna be this. This is a Gates thermostat. It opens up at 170 degrees, so it opens up about 10 to 15 degrees sooner. Canon fuel filter, I figure I'll change that out while I'm in there. Gates water pump and timing belt kit, I'm gonna put that in there. The Mishimoto radiator and the Mishimoto hoses. This is gonna be my headers. Over here, we've got some motor mounts, right? We've got the, what is this one called? Innovative mounts. So innovative mounts, I got their T-bracket as well, because the car didn't have any. And this is the 75 bushing, so it's like a straight strip. And then down here, we've got some axles. So what I'm gonna do now, while the motor is out of the car, it makes the most sense for me to change out my timing belt water pump. I'm gonna change out the tensioner, and I'm gonna change out the thermostat. So let me take this stuff off now. I gotta start by taking off this belt, take this off. I gotta take out the valve cover, pop off this, and then I'll start working on it. But let me get that done now. So this belt doesn't look bad. The water pump doesn't look bad. The tensioner, it looks like they probably swapped that out at one point. But because I've got a Gates one, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Gates stuff in there. So this is a little comparison. This is what I'm taking out, right? It doesn't look bad. I'm putting in this one. This is made by Gates. So I'm gonna put this one and clean it up real good, put the new gasket in, and then torque this down. All right, so what I did was I already swapped out the water pump, new tensioner, new spring, new timing belt. It should have about that much deflection, right? It should spin a little bit, about 180 degrees. Seems pretty tight up here. All I'm doing now is I'm actually just spinning the motor. I already spun it once. You gotta spin it a few times just to make sure that nothing's jumping or skipping, or, you know, your markings are still correct. So there's two little markings here in the middle. Those two meet each other, right? This is reading up, this is reading up. And there's a marking down here that goes to the block that it should all be marked up properly, which it is. So I'm just gonna spin it a couple more times. So this is the old thermostat, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm sure it'll work fine. But while I'm in here, while the motor's out, I'm trying to do everything I can. And also this one should be opening at the original temperature, like I had mentioned before. I am replacing that with the Gates one. Just opens up a little sooner. And while I was at it, went ahead and cleaned up the housing a little bit. I scraped off any of that nasty buildup and try to clean up as much as possible. This isn't really coming off, but you know, whatever I can clean off, I'll clean off before I put in there. Let's get it on. So what I'm doing here is I'm deciding to grind down my shifters. I bought these secondhand, and as you can see, like right here, a lot of rust on all of this. So I'm gonna make sure that I grind that down like I did these and give it a whole respray. Just tracing out some of these threads that didn't go in as smoothly as I wanted them to, but chasing them out. I gave it a little bit of paint on the engine so it looks a little pretty. Not much here. All right, so while I wait for some more parts, I'm gonna go ahead and work on this valve cover. I'm gonna strip this paint and repaint it. So I'm using a Rust-Oleum aircraft remover. Let me spray this down. right, so there it goes. Pressure washed, all the stuff came out. I'm gonna tape it off and paint it crinkle black. All right, so valve cover's ready for crinkle paint. So everything's been cleaned off, taped off, and spray it now. So there you go, a couple of heavy coats. I used my heat gun to speed up the process and give it that nice wrinkle finish. And all I have to do now is just let it really cure entirely. And then I'm gonna sand off the Honda motor coil so that you see that part finished. And that's it. Let me peel off, let it dry and let me peel it off. There you have it. Valve cover is finished. Looking super fresh. Let me throw it on there with the new gasket and everything. I'm very happy with the way this looks right now. All right, so if you guys have been watching my shorts and my stories, you'll be seeing that I've been putting together a B20 swap to go in here. The single cam did an amazing job while it was in here. I did do my upgrades like you see in my other videos, so it actually drives really, really good. It's still for sale if anybody's interested, full swap. But to get started, I'm gonna have to start taking off some of this stuff. I'm gonna start with that diffuser, front bumper, to give enough clearance to slide the motor in and out from under the car. Let's go. All right, so first things first, let me start taking off some of these things. Let me disconnect the battery, take off this intake, and start disconnecting all the wires. That's quick, easy, just get that done. I am gonna label everything just to make it easier to put it back together. It's draining out all the coolant. I'm gonna drain it all out, and then I'll disconnect all this and rip this out because we are replacing this one with Mishimoto. So axles are out, everything's out. I'm gonna drain the trans fluid. I'm gonna leave the engine oil in there. I'm afraid that the trans fluid will leak. So I'm gonna just drain that, and whoever buys this engine, I'll just let them know they have to top that off. But I'm gonna drain that, and I just have to disconnect the fuel lines, and this is ready to come out. First obstacle of the swap. So as I'm getting ready to put my engine on this dolly, I go and lower these quick jack system that I had. And as it was going down, I noticed this side went down a little quicker. I took the wheels off so I can get even more clearance to go down so I can sit on the dolly. My quick jack system doesn't want to go back up. And now my car is all the way in the down position. So I'm gonna have to jack up the rear, put the wheels back on, jack up the front, put the wheels back on, which means I have to put the control arms back in its place, and then figure out why my system's not going up and down. So this is some of the fun I got to deal with. Damn it. All right, so I got the back wheels on. I just jacked up the front. I've thrown some plates on both sides, and I'm gonna cycle it going up and down. I think there's air in the system, so I'm gonna see if I can air it all out, and then hopefully it gets the car back up in the air. We will find out. Let me cycle it a couple more times. All right, so I actually got the jack to go up and down again. I'm gonna undo the mounts. It's only 2 mounts holding it in right now. This one right here and the one over there. So I'm gonna undo those, and I should be able to drop this motor now. Well guys, I messed up a little bit. I thought I was recording as the car was coming up, but it wasn't. But as you can tell, that's it, the motor is out. I just gotta slide it out from under. It's on the dolly, completely loose. I am gonna pull it out now. I'm gonna clean up this engine bay now, touch up some of that paint stuff right there, just right there, and maybe over here. And tomorrow morning, I will work on putting in the new motor. All right, a little cleaned up. This is the back mount. That's the innovative mount. Let me go bolt that one down. All right, so I actually had to take out the front strut because I needed it to clear here and there for me to get that engine in there, and it just made it, thank God. So now I'm gonna put that back in and start dropping the car down so I'm bolted into place. I threw a shirt over it just so I don't scratch up the valve cover that I just painted. This side's on. Hard part is going to be I have to jack up this side. Let me show you what I mean. So if you can see right there, a couple of things. This is missing, this is dropped down about 3 inches. So I have to raise this 3 inches. The problem is the lift is as low as it can go. So I'm gonna have to put a jack under the dolly, I think, down here, to be able to get this side up. So let me get this nut, this bolt in there. This missing a bolt on this bracket down here. And then I'm gonna try to jack it up so I can put the pin through. All right, that's my boy Ruben coming through in the Acti. He gonna help out with this swap. Woo!
We're ready, baby.
Dude, that shit is so small. I love it.
This dude already got it in there.
I can't wait, bro. Come on. It's in there. Must have been a different one. So that should just be able to go now.
But it hasn't lined up, so it hasn't.
Oh, it hasn't fell full
No,
in there?
no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
literally hitting like right. Yeah, right. Yep.
I'm gonna wait to tighten this bracket. This has this bracket over here.
Yeah.
Let me show the camera. So this bracket's got the 3 bolts. I haven't tightened any of this. These are tightened.
Yeah. No,
Let me,
that's fine.
let me get the car up.
Yo, that's just so awesome.
Pretty cool, right?
The pictures? Yeah, bro. I've never worked with it. Are you confident in it?
Yeah.
You put
It has locks.
it has locks?
Yeah, so you hear those clicks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get it all the way up. Once it clicks, I go back down and there's like a stopper and it's not supported on the hydraulic. It's actually locked in.
Very interesting,
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. All right, so the motor is in. All the motor mounts are on. It's on its own weight right now. Car is up. I'm gonna start working on putting the axles. I'll do the rest of the stuff later. The radiator is gonna be last. I just want to get the car started without the radiator, and I can always do that later because I do have to pick up. What's that kind of water I need for this? Distilled
Yeah.
water to mix it in with the chill from Mishimoto that I picked up. So let's keep it going. All right, we're working on the shifter now. Putting that jammy in, motors in, mounts are in, trans fluids in, oils in. So it's all new fluids. And axles are in. I mean, we're chipping away at it, and it's coming along pretty well. Sorry, I haven't been recording. I've been working. All right, that's it. Ruben came in and put in his work. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Motor is pretty much all in. I'm plumbing up the new fuel filter, running that in. The harness is pretty much in. I do need to get a longer return line, so I got to go to Vance Auto Parts and get that. And one of my connectors down here, it kind of just, I don't know, you can't really see it. Let me see, can I grab it? Yeah, this one. That plug isn't really holding in place, so I got to figure out a way for that to connect properly and not move around. But I already wired in the the intake air sensor, so I'm gonna plug that in and chipping away at it. Slowly but surely. Still have a lot more work to do because I still have to put the header on. I still have to weld the V-band to it. I've got to finish up a little bit of wiring here. I got to jump a couple pins on the inside of the computer, and then God willingly she'll crank and start and run. All right, so I was able to figure out that pin. Let me actually show you what I ended up doing with that. So I ended up just buying a pack of whatever this is. Just like female ends, but that's like the right diameter. And I just cut the wire off and I ended up just putting it in there. And as you can tell right there, it fits like a glove. It actually fit perfectly, nice and tight, and I don't think that's going anywhere, so let's keep it moving. So as far as the injectors, I realized, well, we undid the harness tape and we kind of put them one by one, but then this actually has to be in a certain firing order. These two are actually right. I think these two are backwards because I think the blue one is the third cylinder and the yellow is the fourth. Let me know in the comments if I'm right, but online I think that's what it told me, so I have to flip-flop these two. So this bracket that I bought from, where did I buy this from? 1320 maybe? I don't know. It's supposed to be made to use your original cable, but it's gonna push it too far forward, so I can't use it. I actually need it to sit around back here. So I'm gonna make a plate that I bolt this to. I'm gonna make a plate on this side, bolt it in the original holes, and then bolt this to the plate, just so I can just use the bracket I already have and see how that works out. So that's what I made and what I had in mind to keep the same bracket that I ordered. That's not the right bracket. I just made a piece, factory holes. This is bolted on the back, and I can keep the project moving along. That's cool. All right, so this is the next stage. I've got weld up the headers to the V-band. These headers came with the swap. I'm very grateful to have something, so shout out Adalid for giving me the headers. They're not the best fit though. I had to kind of grind this down, and I'm not sure how well it's gonna seal against it, but for now it's gonna do its job. I will most likely be changing the headers unless I can make these work, but for now I just gotta get the car started. So I mocked it up to see how much I need to cut on the bottom, right? That's about a 1-inch gap between then and there. So let me show you what I'm doing. So here we have the V-band. I'm actually cutting it off. This is the one I had originally welded onto the D16. So I'm chopping that off. I need to give it about a 1/2 inch added from here to here, because from here to here, it's about a 1/2 inch. And the space I need to make up is a 1 inch. So I'll have to weld on a 1/2 inch, 2.5 inch piping here, and then this whole thing to the other header. So that's what I'll be working on. All right, so I cut the V-band off. I added this little space like I mentioned. It actually slides right over this, so that should make for better welding for me. Let me tack this all up and weld it around and keep it moving. So with these headers, I had to do a lot more grinding than I thought. I had to clear this piece right here. So I had to notch out the back here, over here, and a couple different areas just to be able to get it to sit flush against it. I will be replacing these at one point, but for now, that's gonna do the job. So let me go ahead and lock up this V-band. So right now I'm in the ECU harness. I gotta go to this plug A and move a couple pins around. I gotta eliminate that orange wire, flip-flop a couple pins, and I should be able to use a jumper harness and try to get the car started with the OBD1 ECU that I have. All right, so I thought I was gonna crank the car, and I turned the key, and my fuel pump wasn't priming, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I look at the jumper harness, and I thought this was an OBD2A harness, but pretty sure it might be OBD2B, because the plug that I need has no pins on it. So thankfully I hit up Adalid, and he said he had an extra one that I could borrow because it's not his, and I just need to see if this starts. So I'll order another jumper harness. I should be able to now plug this in and hopefully get the pump to prime. Let's see, real time. There it goes, pump's priming. Let me do that a couple times because I had the fuel off. Oh, it's leaking gas. All right, so as we wait for my charger to go on, let me swap over the fan on this Mishimoto radiator now. I already took it off the old one. Let's pull this one out and mount just the fan to it. Hopefully it mounts up. It should be a direct fit, but you know how things are sometimes. Doesn't exactly fit, but that looks really cool, right? We got the Mishimoto logo right there. Shout out to Mishimoto. Always make some good products. And hopefully the fan lines up. Let's see, moment of truth. This way maybe? Yeah. Looks like all the bolt holes are gonna work out for me. So I ended up ordering this from Amazon. It's metal or aluminum because my shifter bushing just keep getting destroyed, and I don't know, I'm kind of over it. So let me put this one in and see if maybe this does better. So there's a comparison. This is actually better than what I pulled out of my single cam one. This is just like rubber. Those urethane ones are terrible. So we'll see if that does any better. Again, just to show you a comparison. So this is like an OEM one, which it came in the shift linkage that I bought used. It's probably gonna be better. This is the urethane one. Every urethane one I've bought always does this. I don't care which one it is. This is urethane. This is what's the brand? I can't remember the brand, but it's the good brand. They rust anyway. So hopefully the metal one would be better. So here's the update. The car was not cranking. I haven't got that on video yet. It wasn't cranking. And it turns out it was my ground. So I added an extra ground all the way back here. Right, I added one on this side. I re-cleaned this one up. Re-cleaned this one up and that one. So, right, threw in some starting fluid. And the car actually started, but then it died out. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Something's going on with the fuel. So I undid this and spewing fuel. So fuel is going. All right, so this is day 4. I started ripping the motor out on Friday. I had the old motor out on Friday. Today's Monday. I've been going crazy over this fuel situation. I took this off and I realized somehow there was a crush washer in there, as well as this one, and it kind of blocked off everything. So that's one thing I had to make sure I looked into, right? Second thing I just decided to check on was, I wanted to check on the ground, right? This is the one that goes to the ECU. And I was like, man, let me just run a wire from the battery to here to see if anything happens. Sure enough, it cranked over. But also I had to replace the battery. So this is a new battery. I made my own ground. And let's hear her start. That's it. She started. Oh, she died. All right, started her back up. She's idling. She's on, but she wants to cut off. It is not the right ECU. So I'm assuming that's why. All right, just to be clear, man, for that AEM ECU, first of all, shout out to Adalid for putting up with my crap. Luigi, you don't know it yet, but shout out to you for letting me rock your ECU that was in the swap. This ECU down here, which was a single cam one, got the car to start, but it doesn't really let it idle right. Not enough fuel. This one came out of a turbo car, so that one's got probably bigger injectors, so it wouldn't get the car to start at all. This one, however, is the one that was in the car when the motor was swapped on the other car. So because of that, it fires right up. All right, this is where we're at right now. My holes finally came in. I actually originally ordered a Mishimoto kit, but I ordered it for a B16 and the bottom works, but the top doesn't. So instead I had to go order a HPS kit. So I used the top, but I already had the bottom in there, so I'm not gonna replace it. So I am gonna sell the Mishimoto B16 top with the HPS bottom holes, brand new, never used. So now it's time for me to fill it up with coolant. I am going to use Mishimoto Chill, which should be running colder. And I bought this little bad boy so that I can get all the bubbles out. So let me do that now. All right, so you can tell it is a blue formula. It's got to be mixed in with distilled water. And for this specification, it's actually not even a 50-50. It's supposed to be like a 40-60. So officially she's running. This is the longest I've had her running so far. We've got that Mishimoto chill, liquid chill. And the chart in the back says should be like a 40-60 ratio. And gonna let her idle and get the coolant through the system, get all those bubbles out. All right, here's the update on what's going on over here. Coolant's in the system. I had the car idling, trying to get all the air out the system. I was waiting to hear the fans kick on. The fans did not kick on. So I had to do some troubleshooting. What can it be? The easiest one to check, obviously, is your fuse. I checked the fuse first. Nothing there. Second step to check is gonna be the actual switch here that's on the thermostat housing. So this is a temperature switch that when it closes, closed loops it. And the way to test for that, easiest way would be unplug it, take a paper clip, pop it in while the ignition's open. Fan kicks on. That tells me, God willingly, that that switch is no good. Picked up a new switch, so let me swap it out. The crappy part is, had I known that when the motor was out, I would have just taken it out. Motor's full of coolant now, so I'm gonna lose some coolant. Hopefully not too much, but I'm gonna take that out, pop this one in, and then re-bleed the system, hopefully, and wait for the fan to kick on. There you go, people. The fan is kicking on. It was the sensor. Praise God. Hallelujah. All right, first drive under her own power. I went to the gas station, got a little bit of gas. I don't want to fill her all the way up. I do have to swap out the fuel pump from my AEM one, but I just wanted to make sure that she runs and drives. She's very, very stuttery because this is not the right ECU, but there's points where it'll open up and you can kind of feel the power. So very exciting. Let me get it home, let her cool down, swap out that fuel pump. And there you have it, everyone. This is the single jingle I ripped out, which I actually already sold. And here she sits with the new engine in the engine bay. Just got to get an intake, which I have. I'll make that. I put in those spoon socks. And that's it for this episode. But let me go ahead and show you what you guys was up on the next episode. So for the next episode, as you can see here, this is my new ECU. I ended up going with a Haltech Elite 550. I went to Tuned by Sean online, and not only did I get the ECU from his site, I went ahead and had him make me OBD1 to the Haltech ECU harness. I also went ahead and picked up the Haltech wideband sensor with the module that all plugs and plays, so that I no longer have to worry about air fuel ratios, and you know, all the capabilities that this ECU can do is going to be amazing. That's a little Bosch relay, which clips over here. So stay tuned for the next episode where this ECU gets put into the car and I go see Fred, aka Durf, to go tune this. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for the journey. Until next time, peace.